slow, but it's getting completely redone by Alex Bay. Okay, here we go. So, this is custom variant Disconnected Reunion 10 by Sonoy. We're playing against Andre. We just played a game against him where it was the 5-turn variant, where the middle board activates on turn 5. This one activates on turn 10. So let's jump into it. We're just gonna go knight f3 again. I'm quite happy with knight f3. I think that putting a piece on c6, in our case c3, is actually pretty clutch. I think that e3 is sort of imposes a substantial weakness. But I don't know. We actually have to play again. I mean, he might just beat me in game. Before we even get there, you know. Andre is very good at the game. No, but we can last at least 10 turns as white. I'm not too worried. If I count all the things I still have to pay, I have minus €8. That's a shame. The knight can jump from one to the other, right? Yeah, absolutely. The knight is the only piece that can jump from one to the other. Until, of course, this timeline comes into play, and then there's a bridge to, you know, between the two timelines. So, we'll see what Andre can cook up for us this time. Samet semi-spoilerish. Okay, well, I'm not going to read it in that case. Yeah, Samet, the point of Reunion 25 is for the game to be over before the connection. I see. Yeah. I wonder if there's a way that we can take advantage of the fact that the knight is the only piece that can jump. But it's kind of difficult. Because you have to be one away from the place that you want to influence up there. Ooh, I think Andre might be trying to pull. The thing is, we can just f7 sec, right? I don't know if we have a win on time, but possibly. Like, if we sack onto this board with a bishop, actually, we would want to sack onto this board so that it's his turn up here and he can't get from this timeline to that timeline quickly. Yeah, so if we like play a bishop out here, if we don't lose before then. If we play a bishop out here and then go back to this turn where there's a bishop here, king takes. Well, the problem is that the king can always jump. Exile, which I didn't consider. So it's kind of got to be with a queen. Sag. What is this knight actually doing? Can we talk about this? What is this knight actually doing? In any case, what we want to do is travel to this board. So we're not going to actually move our bishops until, you know, for another 2 turns, and then we can go back 3 turns to that board. In the meantime, though, what's the best response here? I mean, a knight sack is pretty annoying. You also want to prevent the queen shenanigans, the usual queen shenanigans. No, I don't want to move the bishops. I don't have to. Thing is, we've got a knight here. I mean, this knight can go to this board and vice versa, but only to these squares. And these two are covered here. This one is only covered by the knight. You know what? Maybe g3 will just cover our ass. I'll feel a lot safer if we play this, because I think we have a win in a couple turns probably anyway, right? So if you have a best case scenario, right, we don't travel with the queen. If we travel with the bishop, but he takes instead of exiling, still, the only place... Actually, okay. If we go here, the only place that he can exile to from here is here, and we have mate. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. That's the only... Because the only thing he's done is played e6 here. And then he moved the knight again. Yeah, if he exiles... Well, okay, the problem is that he can exile to a board where this knight is here. He can exile into the future. And that knight prevents us from mating him here. Oh, but we do have a bishop check that skewers the queen. But I don't think that it really helps us as much as I wish it did. Okay, the queen's out. Does prevent us from the bishop situation. What's also nice is that f7 is covered from one to the other. Although I'm just realizing that if I attack the queen, g5 and f4 are both covered by this knight from the other timeline, so actually that's not fantastic. So the travel is maybe a little bit difficult to pull off. The problem is that this pawn's not going to be singly defended for like ever, pretty much. What are these queens doing? Then again, if I attack the queen on both boards, he can only cross timeline capture one of them, right? So maybe I don't have to worry about it. Lots of spoilers in the chat. Lots of spoilers in the chat, so... Can't interact there. When would we... If we want to get here, then we actually want to play bishop f4 next turn. And I mean, even if he takes, because we played g3, it's not hanging. Then again, the other move that I want to play in this position is e3, but then that blocks the bishop in. Could do a cheeky... Queen d3 situation. Could also frappuccino the bishop. I want to play I want to play double bishop f4 next turn. Oh, there is like maybe a cute idea that doesn't really work, where he sacks, and then I take, and then he takes with the queen, and then like I take back, but then he takes with the queen from up there. I don't know what that accomplishes. Or maybe like a travel onto a board where... I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm on about. But... certainly is a travel there. I don't want to move the bishop because I want to play double bishop f4 next turn. So that we can go to f5, f6, f7. Wait, no, I have to do it this... Oh, I can't go to here on this turn. I can only go to here. Because, of course, that's why Andre made those moves in that order. Significantly less exciting. Never mind. Andre's boring. I still want to play... Okay, 2 turns before... Alright. Maybe I can just play bishop f4 now. It does do some annoying stuff here with this pawn, right? Sucks. I don't know. I feel like I should be defending f2. But that's also boring. And, you know, fuck the police. Famously, one of our mottos here on stream. You know what? We'll just do it. Whatever. We'll do it. We'll play e3. We'll play solid. And then the turn before this happens on turn 9, hopefully Andre hasn't learned his lesson. Hopefully I've learned my lesson. But up here we're going to go queen a4, and then we'll go to b5 with that queen one turn in the past, because he still hasn't played c6, and so we still have a triagonal mate on the first turn that it's actually available. So we'll figure it out. I think we can make do. Yeah, such an interesting variant. Yeah, I feel like it's probably less degenerate the more turns you have before the third board comes into play. We really just have to hang on. We still don't have a piece defending f7, which feels like a bad idea. But whatever. Fuck it, you know. Wait. Oh, he's just trying to frappuccino. Okay, I was like, oh no, he did learn his lesson, but he hasn't. Because that's not c6, that's b6. He wants to win like traditional 5D chess wins. So I don't see any way that the queen can travel to f7 here. So I think I'm going to continue not worrying about it. Now, in response to this, we can either frappuccino. The fact that we play g3 means that this knight isn't overburdened by... Okay, so the thing is, e3 adds a defender to this knight, but also defends this pawn, which for some reason I feel like I should be doing again, even though it's doubly defended. This both defends this pawn and adds a defender to this knight, and we can always frappuccino next turn anyway. Should we frappuccino this turn or frappuccino next turn? We can also travel to f7, but I think it's quite pointless. Frappuccino first, e3. Frappuccino, e3. He's clearly going to frappuccino, but we can always frappuccino in response to frappuccino. Let's e3. Just in case it feels safer, just in case. And we can always frappuccino next turn. So many turns before we have mate. Damn. Interesting variant. I'm so curious about his game plan. Okay. So the sack happens this turn. Now, I can choose to take one of these knights with the other knight. What's the follow-up here? I mean, I've got e3 and g3 played. I'm going to play into it because I want to see what the fuck Andre is thinking. Am I seeing double? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, but they're defended by the... Okay, I don't play the queen move this turn. Both of them are defended. Maybe we just double Frappuccino. If there was actually a board in the middle here, these bishops would actually be attacking these queens, but of course there isn't. Yet. Okay, next turn, I think, is the first time we actually go asymmetric. Whoa. Really? I'm gonna take with the bishops because our queen gives us mate, but... What the hell? Oh, this was his... Right, this is what he wanted to do. I remember now. Okay, so here... we play... Queen up here. And queen out here. Oh, we have to put something there on the middle board. Of course, Andre, now I understand. And we can't take both of them. Oh, and it's a present check. How annoying. Wow. Andre, you're a real pain in the ass. Okay, so actually what I have to do is take one of these queens, and then move one of my... No, I don't have to move this king now, right? So I can take this, and then I have to move something. I take this, and then I have to move something from this board to that board. I may as well move... Oh wait, no, of course I have to take care of both. Sorry. I can't take one and then leave the other one there, and I can't take both of them. I can't put a piece in the middle. If I had taken with the queen, this wouldn't work. Well, sort of. So what I have to do is move one of these kings to the central board. And then take the other one. The question is where can I go that doesn't like lose the game for me? Oh, right, sorry. The problem is that okay, I can't move. This queen is checking this king. And so I have to move both of the kings, which is forced, or put a piece in the middle, or okay, this move means that this king is no longer in check. The problem is that this queen is checking this king, so this king has to move out of the way. Yeah? Like this? Okay. Well, that really sucks. I don't know if that's the right place to move. Now that I have a piece on the middle board, actually, maybe this is better. Then, is this a good spot for the king? Oh my god, now I have to do some mental gymnastics here. We want to cover as many of these squares as possible. Both of the queens can obviously go to the same place. And he has to move onto this board. So a queen here can be captured. A queen here can't be captured. Ah, now I really wish that I had played the queen out. Now I see what Andre meant. This is really creative. I have to hand it to Andre. We'll just go. I don't have time for this. I can't think about this. Okay, this is a bit of a better version of what I did last time. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now I probably block with my queen, but then the queen over here is... Yeah, okay. Now we're getting checked here. So now... Can he mate me? Like immediately? No, right? Oh wait, these queens defend each other. Oh, I didn't even notice. Silly me. So, because this is the only piece... Oh, moving my... Okay, now I see why moving my king here was a mistake. The problem is we only have one timeline. So do we have to travel here? Am I right about that? And be able to capture this queen as well? Well, traveling here... Oh no, he can give us a check. Oh, but I can travel here. Oh, and he has to travel from there? Okay. We can capture both queens now. The only thing he can do is move a bishop here. Which feels pretty good for me. Then I can capture that queen from here, and then capture that queen up there. Okay. Alright, saved. Saved. Okay. This feels much more... We have to think much more 5D in this game mode. Which is what I really like about it. This is super interesting. Man, that was so clever by Andre. I never give Andre enough credit. That's a lie. I give Andre a ton of credit. We may not be out of the woods, but we are up 2 queens. I think. So, let's see. His only legal move is this bishop move. Well, okay, he could also move his king. He could also travel. But if he travels, he loses the game. Well, he draws the game, actually. If he were to, like, travel with this knight back here, then it would create a... Yeah, that's the only legal move. Like, you know, realistically speaking. And then we grab this queen and we grab that queen. Fantastic. Alright. Now it's a bit tricky, because this king is obviously super duper exposed. And so is this king. So we're not out of the woods. it's very possible that we get wrecked. We do have the double diagonal take, but it doesn't really give us anything good. This is actually pretty scary. Here, because if this bishop moves here... Well, I'm not super worried. Realistically, I think that we're going to be fine, but it's... It's tricky. Actually, this is nice because now this queen can go to a4 here and threaten b5 quadrigonal mate next turn, which feels pretty good since this is a dark square bishop now. Well, it was a dark square bishop before as well. So I don't know. I don't know if we can survive the requisite, what, like 2 turns maybe, to actually get a mate. Since we don't have timeline priority. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a crazy travel. Actually, a travel on this board Tchaikovsky's us. But we can just capture the queen with impunity, so actually that's not a big deal. If he could, like, travel... Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. I mean, if there's an option, I'm sure that Andre will find it. Glad that he can't somehow back rank me. This bishop is blocked by e6. Never mind. Let's see. Remember the AI trying that against me? They moved the king on an empty board. It's really tricky. Haha, he has to move from the future. But you have queen. Queen doesn't mean anything if your opponent has checkmate, which seems pretty likely. Even with the queen, Smith doesn't have time trial advantage. I think for having 2 queens in a game mode that where triagonals and quadrigonals are so relevant, honestly, super big deal. I think there is like substantial advantage for having queens here compared to the other game modes. Like, how's he gonna mate me realistically? He has to do it back in time, right? And the boards on which he has access to, like, diagonals, there aren't any pieces on it. It's impossible to get pieces there, and this is the only diagonal that's really accessible by, like, these bishops. You know, and I've got a queen here that's sort of defending. This is a concern, but, like, next turn I can just push up my bishop, and he can't get a mate on this board. Actually, I probably won't even bother. I'll probably go for my own mate here first. Yeah, because then next turn I'll have... Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'll go for the mate, because I don't really... Well, okay, he can stop that the same way that he did last turn, where he just plays something on queen c6 this turn. Or... No, he can do it next turn as well. But if he does knight c6, I can take, but actually that's not fantastic for me, so never mind. Maybe I will cover the diagonal first, just to make sure that I don't get got. Oh no, Cindy. I'm sorry, Cindy. I've been knocking you over so much lately. That's my bad. There we go. Good as new. Can't really see. Alright, Cindy's happy. Do we see the math? We do. A little crooked. There we go. Alright. Okay. Let's make this with reverse royalty next. Jesus. Spark Dragon hasn't seen reverse royalty yet. Okay. I was wondering what piece was gonna go there. Can never hit that diagonal from that board. No, I don't think this works if Andre is smart, which he is. I want to continue to cover this. Oh no, I want to cover this diagonal and cover here, so it's kind of annoying. Oh, and I have to play a piece from here on this board. I mean, or from up here, but that's harder to do. We probably do the diagonal, or we could grab both of the rooks. Which actually threatens mate on both of the boards. No, we have to cover this diagonal. Boo. I don't know what move we're gonna make here. Man, I really want to play this queen out here. We could do inactive soft mate in exile. What if we did this queen out here? Oh, wait. We have a queen here. What am I talking about? We can check the king so that the only thing that can take it is the king. And then we can defend that queen. Maybe we can't defend that queen. How would we defend that queen? Queen here? How do we defend this queen? Can we defend this queen? This queen can go... No, this is a light square queen on the... if this queen was on E1, then it would go here and defend that queen. Well, okay, we can threaten both quadrigonal mate and... Wait, can we defend? No, because we can't defend it from here. What if we do this and this to force the king to grab? And then this because that king is forced to grab, and then we can travel from here to here and mate that king in the past. And also we threaten this quadrigonal mate. That seems good. That sounds good. Yeah. Oh shit, what? Wait, we win. No? This queen travel wins us the game. If he gives us another timeline. Right? Because it doesn't check any of our kings. It almost does. This queen doesn't check any of our kings, does it? Because that queen would be here. No, we win a half turn before Andre wins. Right? Yeah, right? Yeah, right? Well, let me just double check. E8, D7, C6, B5, A4. Okay. All right. We got it, boys. Spark Dragon says almost mate by going queen e8 on the top board. On the top board up here, I wish I could go queen e8. Maybe you meant here. The problem is that e8 is covered by both this bishop and also this rook. Delivering this check is sufficient for me, I think. If Andre has... No, yeah, I think we win on the spot here, right? Yeah, buddy. We did it. Andre gave us the extra timeline we needed. Oh my god, it's such back and forth. GG. GG, Andre. I really like this game mode. I mean, it seems simple. But I think it really there's so much potential for craziness. And I don't know how balanced it is. Andre's attack was hilarious. I was super spooked. You remove the opponent pieces that guard and add a piece for you that guard. You win. Yeah, exactly. Reversal, you know, call an ambulance, but not for me. I've already used that thumbnail. But wow. What a game. I agree, it's a great concept and really fun. Yeah, I had to think so much more five-dimensionally than I usually do, which, you know, maybe makes it more degenerate, but it definitely, at least when it's novel and we haven't, you know, nobody's like vomited theory all over this and broken the game. GG, Andre. Man, I was threatening so much there. I was really excited. I was really excited. Because you kind of had to capture from here like that. And then on this board, I could travel up here to mate this king in the past from that board, diagonal. And because there was no rook, because you moved the rook away. Alternatively, I mean, if you move this king instead, I could still do this travel, but it depends on what you did up here. If you did like knight out, then maybe not. But this queen was also threatening. You had to block c6 here on this board. So it did have to be on that board. Because if you didn't block c6 here next turn on this board, which you could do with either the queen or the knight, or with either the pawn or the knight, if you didn't do that, then queen b5 was quadrigonal mate on this board. And so you had to grab the queen with this board and then block c6 with this board, and that enabled this bishop to travel up here and do the diagonal mate, which was great. You could have traveled on e6 on an empty board. I think there was an earlier mate also. You might even be right. You might even be right, Andre. Oh, Andre, you're so smart. Yeah, you're so right. Oh, I had the win. Yeah, you're so... Okay, if this queen had gone to e6 2 turns back to here, you know, e6, and then e7, or e6, and then e7. Wait, no, I couldn't. No, Andre, I didn't have a timeline. That's why I couldn't do that before. Right? This was only made possible because you just gave me timeline priority. Am I wrong? Because I was looking at those moves. True. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, we had some scary stuff, but we didn't have timeline priority. That's why as soon as you made the timeline, I was like, yes, we've got this queen can go to a6 on one of these boards. Yeah. That's such a clever idea, though. I nearly shat myself here. Like, holy shit. I don't know if there was like a more clean way to convert or whatever, but yeah, wow. That was really creative. I understand now what you were trying to do last game, right? That makes a lot of sense. What? Yo, check it out.